You tonight. My name is Mr. Macari, and of course I'm your host this evening. And of course I'm joined by the lovely Miss Della. Good evening to you, Della. How are you doing?
Good evening, everybody. I'm good, thank you.
All right. And of course we are getting set for, that's right, we're getting set for episode number 16. That's right. Don't forget the WhatsApp number to call or to leave your messages and your comments, 489-4781. And of course you could call us at 458-2488. And for those of you calling from overseas, it's 1758-458-2488. You can also check us out on Facebook at Caribbean Hitz FM, or you could check us out on the Hitz FM app if you have it. If you don't, you can check it out in the Google Play Store. Just download it, and just Hitz FM is with you until. And right now we're moving straight into episode 16 of the program. I Write.
Previously on I Write.
What them police doing my own? That a lady too much they call the police on me? I ain't even touch her. I ain't touch her yet. In my own house? You just rich and you want to bring police? We're supposed to be partners, huh? All this time you pretending to be gay to get into my white panties?
What stupidness you talking about there now?
So, why you had Al come to our house and spend so much time with him?
How did you react?
Word gets around.
Oh well.
So, how you have a man over, nobody around, and nothing?
You better leave, Owen. You better leave.
No, Lincoln. Owen stays. Owen, please stay.
So what is this? Y'all making complot against me, huh?
Lincoln, you know that's not true. That's not true. Man, just calm down before you do something stupid.
Now you want to tell me how to run my house?
Lincoln, man, you're not thinking straight.
So now I was not thinking straight. Of course I'm not thinking straight. Huh? To see how you playing as if, you're the man of the house in my house.
Lincoln, just stop.
Lincoln, stop. Lincoln, stop. No, I'm not stopping. You're not seeing what I'm trying to do, huh?
But you're not making any sense there now, Lincoln.
Oh, of course.
None whatsoever.
Of course I will not make sense. Because that blasted mama guy getting under your skin. Huh? All the time he playing as if he's my friend. But he eyeing my property all the time.
Lincoln, what property you have I eyeing, boss man? What I eyeing?
You really think I blind, huh? You playing as if you ain't want woman, is gay, you gay, when all the time is my Cynthia Ulakaveye.
Lincoln, stop. Alright? You're going a little too far now.
I going too far? Well, you have gone too far. And now you're visiting without permission.
Oh?
My house, my wife, my children. They are mine, Owen. Mine. Why yours? Huh? Huh?
Lincoln, you just got out of the hospital. It will be better for you to calm yourself and check yourself.
This is my house, and I command you to leave. You are trespassing on private property.
Lincoln.
This is my house, and I say you need to leave now, Owen.
Lincoln. Owen will be helping us out because you are not so strong yet. Please try and relax yourself.
Relax?
Yes,
Cynthia,
try.
Listen to her.
Relax. you're not seeing what happening there.
Baby, come on, just listen. You're probably still in shock.
Don't touch me!
Look at Cynthia. Man, you crossed the line.
Owen, you and your poodle outside need to leave my premises now!
We are not leaving Lincoln. In fact, you need to calm down now. Man, you just hit your wife in the presence of an officer. This will not be taken lightly.
I told you. I would.
No.
I
Cynthia.
I fix you up.
Cynthia, get up.
You made me do it.
Lincoln, stay put. I do not want to hurt you. John, come.
So
cuff him.
So you
Cynthia, you okay?
arresting me now? You arresting me? Gaza, we supposed to be partners. Gaza, you're messing me up, Gaza. You're really messing me up.
Cynthia, come here.
Cynthia!
Lincoln, you accosted your wife in front of me. An upholder, an officer, an enforcer of the law. What do you expect me to do, huh? Our partner.
My wife, baby.
Come over here, Cynthia.
Let me go, Owen. We are partners, man.
Of course, we are partners. But I have to protect you from yourself now. Cynthia, come over here.
But Gaza, take that things over, Gaza.
Then, brother man, you should have known this before you choose to hurt your wife.
Owen, God. John, drop me here, man. You don't know. You don't know who I am. I'm Sergeant 44.
Yeah.
No man can touch me.
Yeah, we know, man, Link. Sakapezi, Sasia Kwevche, man. Kwevche.
Let me go, man. Cynthia!
I'm sorry, Lincoln. I'm sorry. I love you so much.
Lincoln Gas. I've known you for so long, man, and you've been doing this for as long as I have known you. It's time to stop, man. I tell you already, you cannot continue like this, man.
Please, God.
Cynthia, come over here.
Please.
Take him away, John.
Owen, please, Cynthia!
Owen.
Cynthia!
I'm sorry, Lincoln. I'm so sorry.
Come on, Sissy. Come, Sissy. Come. It's okay, Sissy. It's going to be okay. You're doing the right thing, Cynthia. You do deserve some form of happiness in your life, not this.
Well, don't think I finished, huh? I must in all of your tale now pete court so slower when fini when I come back.
Listen, please. All I did was hand my credentials to the Labor Department. I did not slander the name of the hotel.
So you say, but the record's proven true. A representative from the department came here snooping around and asking strange questions.
But they said they would investigate. You know that's the protocol. You know that's what they do.
Mr. George, we really appreciate your contribution to our establishment, but we
Cut the crap and level with me. I'm not a boy.
Well, you are not proving otherwise.
Look, it's been quite some time since y'all sent me home.
Yeah? So?
Since y'all fired me.
Who told you you were fired, Mr. George? You were not fired. You were just suspended.
Listen, at first, y'all told me I was fired. Now you are saying suspended. I thought I had done something and was being investigated, but nobody told me anything. Why?
This is uncalled for. You were suspended from your regular duties.
Yeah, without pay, just like being fired.
And so?
Well, since you say suspended, You need to tell me when I can return and come and get the rest of what you'll owe me, and when I get in my job back.
I cannot give you that information, Mr. George.
Miss, I have a wife and one young child. We are almost out of house and home.
Save that for Oprah.
Miss, is there nothing you can do?
Sorry, sir. You really need to leave.
But you're still hiring new people. I get reports. Y'all never told me what was the real reason. Why? I gave 5 years to the hotel. 5 years of hard work and dedication.
So you really want to know why we had to let you go, huh?
But of course.
You ready for it? Well, look at you.
But what about my looks? I was always clean. I followed your rules. Never stole your wines. I never even brought the scraps home for my dogs. So what is the problem?
Frankly, Evan Georges, there are things about you that do not make the cut for the direction in which the hotel is going.
Huh? What do you mean? The guests love my groove.
Sure they did.
So?
Mr. George, we do not like your type.
My type? And what type is that?
Gosh, look at yourself in the mirror over there.
I know what I look like.
Well?
Well, what?
You are a man, aren't you?
But what kind of question is that?
Well, which man dresses the way you do?
Wait. What are you insinuating, miss?
Anyway, I think we have exhausted our time here. I have a client to see.
So wait, I was fired based on what I look like?
Not fired. Suspended, Mr. George.
But on what grounds? Looks? That makes absolutely no sense.
Sorry, Mr. George, I cannot discuss this any further.
But you have to. I need to know.
Mr. George, there is nothing more to discuss. You have to leave or I will call security.
Okay. Noni, just tell me, when can I return? When will the suspension end?
Well, you have forged the investigation and it is ongoing. Please leave.
Alright. I will leave, but I will return.
Please make sure he leaves the compound immediately. We do not want him upsetting the guests and workers.
Okay, Evan. Let's go.
Gasa, don't touch me. I know my way out.
Hey, bro. Evan. Long time. What's up?
Hey, Ron. Hi there.
Hey, Ev. I heard they launching an investigation against you, eh?
An investigation against me? About what?
Wow, man. Things dready. You send labor after them?
Man, yes, sir. The Labor Department just said that they seek to address the issues workers present concerning the workplace.
Oh, boy. Not so.
But what you mean, yes, sir?
Kasa, the people say you were giving passes to a gay fella. When they check you gallivanting about with him.
Wait. Hold on. They say I was liming with a gay fella? And? What's wrong with that? I can't have friends, man.
Evan, boy, and your sister would come around with her lesbo friends, you know.
But that not making no sense, Kasa.
Yeah, man. They say they know your sister.
What about my sister?
They know she...
What? A lesbian? But what does that have to do with me?
They say you on the down low.
But bro, Ron, I'm married.
Precisely! They say you're hiding. But who am I to judge?
So that's why the people let me go? Because they think I'm gay?
Mommy, I have been to counseling, done hypnosis, even deliverance services as you all told me.
And?
Nothing, Ma. I have absolutely no feelings for the opposite sex, Mommy.
Vivi, how comes? What did I do wrong?
Nothing, Mom. You did everything right.
But I keep thinking maybe, just maybe, I could have done something more. Maybe I could have prayed more.
No, Ma. Ma, you know, when I was 15 years old, I used to enjoy liming with both boys and girls at school. I always thought the fellas were interesting and cool, but Ma, I was never sexually attracted to them.
Oh, baby. I'm so sorry.
For what, Ma, if anybody has to apologize, it would have to be Daddy.
Your father? But why?
Mommy, I saw how Daddy treated you. Both then and now. I don't want that for you or for myself, not from any man or woman.
So, if you ever saw any similar trait in any male or female, it would turn you off?
Yes, it would, so you understand.
But your daddy tried to raise you well, my girl.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. With all the hell and damnation speeches to femininity speeches.
Yes. He wanted to straighten his crooked daughter.
Yes, I know.
But you really only brought girls home, huh? As your friend, I mean.
Y'all would never let me bring home a boy. Oh, boys are bad. They'll get you pregnant. Especially Matoto. She made me think that if I kissed a boy, I would become pregnant right away.
Oh, life. So, you never like any boys?
Well, Mommy, you remember Ricky?
Ricky? Who's that?
Yes, Ricky. I brought him home once. The cute dark boy with thick wavy hair from up north. And he was a cute one.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
That one from up north, Ricky. Yes, he was a cute one, eh? But your father?
Yes, Daddy and his gaydar.
Oh, boy.
Mommy, did you know that all that boy wanted was to see if he could like me? If we could be a couple?
What? But he's gay.
Bye, Ma. Bye. He was bisexual. But now he only likes men.
Ah, whoa.
Yeah, I had to tag him along because of Daddy.
But that boy liked you. Where is he now?
I have no idea. He told me I could be a good wife to him. Life.
But Evie.
Yes, Ma.
Life has not been that easy for you, my girl.
Mom, I cannot begin to tell you.
My girl, I have time, and you know you can tell me anything.
Well, I can tell you this much. Some people are cruel and hurtful. Ma, before I left for the ship, I had a very bad experience here.
Really? So is that why you left us?
Not really. My living had more to do with Daddy than anything else. But I'm not talking about him.
Well, so go on.
Alright, you remember I had a job at that same hotel Evan works at? Well, you know the employees got passes. And of course, we could choose to bring in anybody we choose. Or, so I thought.
I know that.
Well, that fateful night, I was off. I probably had a little too much to drink, and you know, I felt peckish. So during one of our parties, I mistakenly planted a kiss on one of the guests.
Oh, no way, Evie.
I thought it was my girl, Ma, and I was drunk. I didn't mean to. And you know, the rest was history.
How comes you never said anything about this before?
Well, I don't know. I was younger and I did not really care. Plus, you see, Daddy was just too much. Anyway, I don't want to work there anymore and I had already applied for the ship.
Good for you, my girl.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Evie. Did you say the same hotel at which Evan works?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh. But is it possible?
What, Ma?
Is it possible? No
What?
way. Could this be the reason why they fired Evan?
Kina, I just can't tell you how thrilled I am that we are friends.
Yeah, me too. But Color, you cannot expect to go about living your life as if the teasing is just going to disappear. You need to do something about it.
I know. Kina, I know. But it may seem easy for you to say because you are straight. Or normal, as they say. It's very tricky. I've been through so much. I think I'm numb.
Oh no, don't say that. You are a person of feelings and emotions.
Don't get me wrong, Kina. I don't want no pity party. Nor do I make any apologies.
Well, that's good. But respect is what these people need to give you.
R-E-S-P-C-T, tell me what you think of me. R-E-S-P-C-T, come on.
Yes, respect.
Yeah? But you want me to fight for it?
No way. Hell. You should not have to fight for anything like respect. That is a normal human right. And no one shall be subject to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, etc., etc.
Wow. You sound like you swallowed a dictionary. Where did you get that?
Girl, I know my rights. Since the time I started getting tired of how my father abusing my mother, I just had to educate myself because I did not want anybody to violate me because of ignorance. So I just researched what are our human rights.
Yeah, but where did you get them?
Girl, these days you can get anything on the internet. YouTube, it's open to the public.
Let's look at them.
We will, but first... Carla, what you do in the privacy of your home is nobody's business. It is yours and yours alone. You should not be discriminated against because of what you do in private.
Well, Kina, people do a lot of things in private that affect others. Gossip, rape, kill, steal, a host of other things.
I know. But you must love, which is different to any of those things you mentioned.
Yes, I love. And that is my greatest sin.
What you saying? Loving someone is not a sin.
Well, I cannot love a girl because of the society. And the good book has a story where 2 cities were destroyed for this love.
Get it right. Carla, the Bible did not say that the 2 cities were destroyed because of homosexuality. They were destroyed because of the wickedness of the people. They were wicked and had no love for each other.
Kina, watch it. You could be blaspheming.
No, Carla, read it for yourself. The people of those cities indulged in illicit behaviors. They were evil and condescending and very disobedient. So people need to get their facts straight.
But everybody's saying...
Forget what everybody's saying. Research it for yourself. Carla, this is your life. Live it. Love it.
Again. Easy for you to say.
But it's all up to you.
The majority of the populace do not share your views. And they could prance on me at any minute and chew on my flesh.
It is up to you to defend yourself. Know your rights.
I know of people right here in our country who have been hurt even for saying the wrong thing to the wrong person. Some have even committed suicide.
True.
I will not joke about these kinds of things, Kina. Where was I? I think I was at a restaurant, yeah. And this fellow comes to the bar and asks for a drink. But what he did was offer a drink to another guy. That was all. The other took offense and started calling the other guy names.
Wait, for a drink?
Yep. Wow. And one would think that the owner would try to discourage that kind of abuse.
I tell you, girl, some people like to think that your issues are worse than theirs. But when you do the math...
And that was episode number 16. I told you it was going to be hot. Did I say that? I can't remember. I just thought that I would allow you all to, listen to that. I'm telling you all nothing. Of course, I want to say good evening again to Della. How you doing, Della?
I'm good, thank you.
No, sorry, but say that again. They didn't hear you. I kind of missed something on the board.
I said I'm good, thank you, and I hope our listening audience is good as well.
Oh, yes. Of course, I want to say good evening to a few people here. I want to say, of course, good evening to Mr. Charles. I want to say good evening to Pretty for sure. I know Keisha's waiting to call. Her favorite person was on the show tonight again. But before we do that, don't forget the number to call is 458-2488. That's right, the number to call 458-2488. And of course, if you are calling from overseas, the number to call is 1758 458-2488. Of course, you could leave your comments, your questions on Facebook at Caribbean Hitz FM, or you could also leave it on our WhatsApp platform. That's right, the number is 489-4781. Of course, you could call. I'm just waiting for that call tonight. So, straight into it, just giving you a little rundown. Yvonne goes to the hotel to speak with the HR manager, and she was not very pleasant at all. He eventually finds out why he was fired. Why he was he wasn't. She's telling him that he wasn't fired, but in speaking to a friend while being escorted out or leaving the hotel, he gets to find out something else, and of course the real reason behind his suspension. Although it doesn't really look like a suspension in the very hostile human resource managers view. It doesn't really look like that. You're just making him feel, well, okay, we suspend you. Okay, but Sylvia and Eve are home. They're sharing an intimate moment. Eve is finally confiding in her mom about her life, her feelings, the challenges. She also reveals why she left to work on the ship, which might come back and tired to, of course, Evan. And Kina and Carla are talking. Kina is expressing to Carla how important it is for her to stand up for herself against discrimination. Now, the program started with our favorite character, Lincoln.
Why is he your favorite character?
I don't know. I don't know. I like a challenge. I think Lincoln can change. I believe he can change. I believe he can change in the right kind of atmosphere, when all the right components come together. Lincoln can change. I don't think we should just give up on Lincoln just like that. Okay. I'm the kind of person I never ever give up. So I'm very sorry. But yes, Lincoln. You heard it from the program, the previous program, that Lincoln was arrested and so on and so on. But something I took away from this one, that for some reason, I don't know, Lincoln need prayers. The man need prayers bad. And I'm saying it, I'm not saying as a host tonight. I'm saying because I'm really listening to Lincoln, and even though I'm holding out hope for him, the man needs prayers. He really, really needs prayers. How can you hit your wife in front of a police officer?
Because it's his property.
But
that's what he said.
Yeah, that's his property.
Wife,
like he buy it.
His children.
It seems to me.
His house.
It seems to me he buy it. He can do what he wants.
What he wants with it.
Hey, Lincoln, you'll have to answer for your sins or your offenses. Okay, okay.
Unfortunately, that's how a lot of people feel. It usually happens when the ring goes on the finger. You now figure it's yours.
Is it? You see, I'm sorry that I don't want to be discriminatory, but I always feel that when a certain set of people hear the these two words, it kind of triggers something in the head. Do you promise to love and to this and so on and so on? And they say these two words, I do. Somebody's saying, when new.
Sometimes you don't even have to say I do for somebody to feel that.
No, that's very true, and we see that coming.
Property.
We see that coming back a lot in our society right now, where marriage is not just two people coming together because they actually love each other, they care about each other, they want to see each other grow, they want to grow with each other and do things. It's now, I get married to you, you're mine, I can do what I want now. And we're seeing that a lot, Maybe that's the reason why a lot of marriages just end, just like that, or end up, people just end up breaking up, getting divorced 3 to 4 months after they get married. All the time they were dating, they didn't see that.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I always say that you never know what happens behind when a man and his wife or two partners enter their home and the doors closed. You don't know what happens.
Never know what's going on behind the closed doors. And that's the people's business, what happens behind the closed doors. But when it becomes, public knowledge that you're being violent and you're being abusive, and it is out there now, and somebody else's life is in danger, people's lives are in danger. And I mean, it's not a thing that is private anymore.
But let me play. I will always play devil's advocate here.
I'm waiting for it.
But do you think it's your place to enter somebody's personal relationship or their household and step in and
I don't think no.
tell them what they're doing is right or it's wrong or
I think it is always I think it is always the person in the situation that has to go to the necessary authorities and so on. We have a call coming in. We have to take this call. Hello, good evening, good night. You are on the air. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening.
Bonsoir.
Another hot episode tonight again.
No, ça a été chaud. Merci.
But you know, let's be realistic, Roger, as man, and you know, let's talk man to man, right? So your partner, imagine you come at your home, and this is what sometimes, you know, I hear you say, boy, Lincoln need prayers. I don't feel Lincoln even consider father as a child machine. So
well, I know, but I'm still, like I said, I never give up, and I'm holding out hope for Lincoln. I mean, you know, somebody has to be on the man's side. At some, you know, I think there's hope for him.
But I want to say good night to Della also. Good night, Della.
Good night, Bennett.
But man to man, Roger, and let's keep Della out of this one for a while. Man to man.
Yeah, so hear that. You see that part there?
No, you're talking man to man. Imagine you come at your home, right? You know your partner. You come out and you see your partner there, and your partner is your good friend because Lincoln is retired. He's a retired police officer.
Right,
you know,
right.
And usually when you retire from the force, you still have respect as a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Younger police officers will still look up to you because you done you pass through the system already. So you come at your home, you see a junior police officer, some partner you, and basically that's your good partner.
Mm-hmm.
You come at your home, you don't suspect the man maybe trying to roll on your wife already.
Okay.
And the man come out in your house, and I like the way Della put it. In your house.
I thought you said you were kicking Della out of this.
Your children. You check it, and the man try and come and tell you things in front of your wife. Guess what? You could hear the anger in Lincoln's voice.
Yes.
If Lincoln had a everybody would die there. Now, as man, let's talk to him as man, and I really love your callers, some of your male callers, you know, relative disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You feel him and go just stay there and let his partner march him in front of his wife?
I don't think so. I would not. I wouldn't. I personally, I think I would probably be upset and angry. I am not sure that I would be as livid with rage as Lincoln.
Roger, and we're talking, as I said, we're talking man to man. And that's why I'm hoping some of your callers.
No, serious.
They might worry about police there.
Yeah, but
who not there, who not there.
Bennett.
They worry about the man come and match me in front of my wife in my own home. I'm a police officer.
Bennett, I would be just as upset as Lincoln. I come at my home and I meet a man there talking to you. You're all there cozy, you know, all kind of thing. You well sit down there. And to top it all off, use my partner.
But I'm sorry, y'all said leave
and
me out. But I'm sorry, I can't stay out. I need to step in.
Yeah.
So you come to your home. Your wife is there with somebody that you've known for quite some time who is your partner.
Hold on. Let me just put a little piece there that you suspect try and check your wife too.
But why would you even suspect that he trying to check your wife? Why would that even come into your head?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a man thing.
Because maybe Lincoln think that Owen just like him.
Well, yeah.
Because you know the fellas maybe cutting some business together because Mr. Men come we say like the shavings the same way. So around you check it, you there, you cozy because remember in the previous episodes Lincoln always tell him and that's you care treat the woman that way as you care plug the
that's
woman
right, that's right.
Yes. Property. So the man come at his home and he see you buy his property.
And you own his property too. You own the man property too. And you try to take the man property again? Now, I guess.
but it's a hard thing. And while I totally, disagree with any physical abuse or verbal abuse towards Cynthia, but I want to be, it is really, really hard sometimes when Lincoln finds himself in that situation. Boy, something like that. So I was a former police officer, you could try and imagine me. And a lot of times, people who are in authoritative position, I'm not necessarily saying police officers, but a lot of people who are in authoritative positions believe that they can do whatever they could do and get away with it because of who they are, the position that they hold in society. And I think this is one of the things maybe Lincoln suffers from. He knows he has a level of authority and respect in society, and he believes he could do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter, if it's police or no police, he will do what he wants, and he feels he can get away with it. And I really would love to hear, how this ends for him. But that's my contribution for now.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Right.
On that.
Hold on, Bennett. But before you go, I need to keep you on the line there. Let Della make her contribution because I need to. We need to speak. We need to go to Evan and the problem there because they have a few things I have to say on that too.
I do think that Lincoln.
Call back. I'm just gonna allow other persons to call him who wants to call.
Okay, no problem. All right.
I do think that Lincoln is of the opinion that being the sergeant in police and having the reputation that he did, that he has certain leeway to do certain things. But as we have spoken about on many occasions, nobody is above the law. Exactly. And nobody has a right, whether it's to hit or to discriminate or to be violent, whether verbally or physically, to anybody.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what Lincoln thinks of himself. What he is doing is wrong.
Yes.
And at some point when you're doing stuff that's wrong, it will catch up with you. And we're seeing that it's catching up with him now.
I am. I'm saying, I am not condoning anything that Lincoln is doing. Okay? I just believe that at some point, somewhere, somehow, okay, Lincoln will swing around.
But let's be realistic, Roger. Let's look at society in what society is. Have you known of anybody who does that? On the level that Lincoln is at, and they change.
I may know of probably an isolated situation. Maybe just one or two, maybe.
We're not talking about somebody who did this on a one-off,
Yeah. It is a constant thing that is already happening.
And he did it in front of the police. So do you really think that there is hope for Lincoln at this point?
Why, I don't know, boy. The optimist in me just wants to believe that Lincoln can come back.
Well, let's see.
I have to say, Lincoln's sticking that because after all those years, your partner talking to you, you develop a suspicion against him and that the man wants your girl, your wife. Okay, you're getting already stupid because you feel that's your property. You find the man at your home, you vex, all kind of thing playing in your head there, and to top it off all, and I've said it before, that you're going to hit your wife in front of that same person that used to be speaking to you. Is a police officer, used to work with you, and you still do that? Oh, that's a answer. But, the little humanitarian in me will still think, maybe on his dying bed, Lincoln might just apologize and say, I don't know, I'm saying. But for now there, answer.
Well, in that case, you're better than me,
I'm better than you?
Yeah, because I don't see any hope for Lincoln.
Okay.
And I'm not just... Yes, Lincoln is a fictional character, but I always want to go back to reality, where this is something that is prevalent in our society, and we see that in those instances, these individuals go from relationship to relationship to relationship and behave in the same way.
Okay, we have a call. Good evening. You are on the air. How are you doing?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing?
I am nice, great, wonderful, blessed, and all the rest.
Lincoln is a soups by itself. Lincoln.
Boy, I like to tell you.
Boy, Lincoln is in real life.
Well, it's a fictional character. I mean, it's a radio program and it's a fictional character.
Well,
it
it
just
takes a
brings up
character to
situations
create
that occur in our everyday life and our society. What you say? Say that again.
It takes a real character.
Well,
to create that.
I mean, it took a real character to create the thing, and there may be a lot of Lincolns out there.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of Lincolns, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he just representing Lincoln.
Oh boy.
You know.
Yeah. But tell me, caller, tell me. Do you think Cynthia should go back to Lincoln? I need to hear somebody say something on that.
I don't think so,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Why?
Cynthia, don't go back to Lincoln.
Why?
Why? Lincoln, he's behaving bad and at the wrong time. That's not
To
the
me,
right
Lincoln
time.
behaving bad all the time.
Huh?
To me, Lincoln behaving bad all the time.
All the time. Boy, Lincoln have a serious problem. And because Lincoln have a problem, he feel that a woman could able to solve his problem. Lincoln, don't try that.
Yeah, you know what? You know that kind of ticked me off while listening to this. All the time he was there doing and beating up the lady, and abusing the lady, and cursing the lady, and doing all kind of thing. The cuffs reach on your hand all the time. You're a police officer and you're gonna arrest people that doing it. You doing it, you feel you're above the law. The cuffs reach on your hand, and now you're begging Cynthia.
Yeah.
But I'm funny that when we have spoken to the persons who are at the gender department, and they say when it gets to that point, that is exactly how they behave.
Yes.
They cry and they humble.
They say they'll never do it again.
You know, and beg. You know, they beg the women, they beg the magistrates, they beg the police. Because at the end of the day, it really is a power thing. It's a power struggle to feel that I man, like Cook said, I man and I know I man.
I know I man.
Yeah.
Know you man.
Boy, there are some people, there are some individuals, they were born to be a bachelor.
That's a good one.
I don't think I want to disagree with you, caller.
That's a good one. That's all I'm going to say. That's a good one.
Yeah, they were born to be bachelors, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, until they don't really get to the real know themselves, you know, they're seeking on the outside.
Right.
For solution. But the solution is inside. They need to focus inside themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because, you know, I'm a guy, you know, I like to think outside the box, you know.
Okay.
You know, my grandmother always tells me, you know, son, if you're foolish, don't fall in love.
Say that again.
My grandmother.
Right.
She was a coach for me, you know. She's a coach me, you know.
Okay.
He tell me, listen, if you're foolish, don't fall in love.
I'm going to write that down. I'm going to use that. Yes.
So I told my granny, you called me a fool. She tell me, not me. She don't call me a fool. I should know myself. But my granny was a classic, you know.
Yes.
But I wish she was there with me.
Yes.
To see, just to see her grandson. I haven't gone astray, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have made the best of the wisdom she have given to me, you know. She's the only parable for me, you know. And I have to able to think for myself.
Yes.
You know, she give me, you know, she's not giving you the breadfruit and crush it for you. She gives you big and you have to crush it yourself. She tell me, you have teeth. And you have to crush it for you.
Okay. So while you eating it, she telling you whether it is going to give you the gorget or whatever. She has the juice there or the water there to drink for you to drink.
She telling me, grandson, whenever I tell you something, you have to crush it yourself.
All right.
You know, you have to process it. You tell me that's why God give you teeth.
Okay.
You're not a toothless tiger.
All right.
Anyway, have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too. And I kind of agree. I kind of agree with the caller sometimes. Poor job, Lincoln. That's all I'm going to say. Poor job, Lincoln. Let us move on. Evan has this, you know, he had a discussion with his HR manager. Now, that kind of didn't end so well for Evan. And he's being told, you know, in not so many words, we don't want you here. And there's an underlying reason why they don't want Evan there, but he still doesn't. He kind of touching on it, but he doesn't really know the back history as to why they don't want him there. And of course, they're associating the back history with him, even though he's married. They're saying that he dresses funny, he acts funny, his friends are funny, and that is why they are now discriminating against him and say, look, man, I want you here again. They're using the fact that you went and tell the Labour Department all kind of thing about us. And when you think you want to come back and look for a job, our partner. But there's a little bit more in it. There's a little bit more to it. And he's walking out and he's hearing his partner talking about him. And the partner trying to hint to him a little bit. Sir, it's because of something else. That is why they're treating you like that. Is there any kind of recourse for that? A lot of people go through that in society. Discrimination in the workplace. You don't like hanging around with your co-workers because they drink and you don't. They're going to victimize and kind of discriminate against you. Is there any kind of recourse for anybody who has ended up in that situation? Should they go to either the union? What is the recourse for them in terms of the human resource department at the workplace, the employer, the owners of the business, the labor department, or the union or trade union they belong to? What is, how can they, seek some kind of, I don't know, what's the word, justice for being laid off or suspended for the wrong reasons?
I think all workers need to make a concerted effort to avail themselves of information that is relevant to their workplace, whether it's a workplace handbook or, when you begin a job, learning what are the do's and don'ts of your workplace environment. But we also have, I'm certain that every workplace environment has channels of recourse that you can follow. And if those don't work, then we have the Labor Department where you can go and make formal complaints and have them, as we saw happen in the episode, investigate your formal complaint and assist you in getting some redress to your matter.
Just before you just go on, is it just the Labor Department that an employee can go to? Can they just bypass the Labor Department and probably go to a lawyer, for example?
Well, no. There's a chain that you must follow, as far as we have understood, that you go first to your employer and you make your formal complaint, or you state that there is something that you think is amiss. If you do not get any sort of action happening there, then you go to the Labor Department and you open an investigation and you have that kind of discourse with them. And if you still having a challenge, if you're a member of a union, then you go to your union.
I was just about to ask that.
And depending on what exactly is happening and how far it goes, then you have a different course of action that you can take. It's a process, and sometimes it's long, but I think if persons follow the process, they should be able to get some kind of recourse. But this is just my opinion. We do have instances where we've heard in the news where that didn't happen. But I would still like to encourage everybody to take the necessary steps. At least if you take the steps and you follow the steps and nothing happens, then you have some kind of footing to stand on.
Okay, we have a caller coming in. Hello, good evening. You're live on the air.
Hey, that's me calling back again.
Hey, Bennett, what's happening?
Definitely. Yeah, I really wanted to touch on the issue with Evan. And I think Evan is still calling. Evan doesn't know if he was fired or he's suspended.
But that's what I'm saying. He still does not know. I mean, other people know. Other people know, but they're kind of afraid to tell him.
Yeah, but the thing again, I think, and I totally want to agree with Della in terms of, as an employer, you really want to become aware of what your workplace policies are. However, the workplace policy does not supersede the labor code. in no way, form, or shape, or whatever.
Right.
A workplace may have a policy, and sometimes that policy may go contrary to the labor code. And so again, it is like Della said, it is you as the employee who has to, kind of get yourself okay, not just with the, if you have a handbook of your workplace, but the labor code. And that's the thing, Roger, too often, boy, I get a job, I get a job a month, I care when I get my money.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And it takes sometimes something to happen. And a lot of times people don't even know where to turn to.
Yes.
And I really think that with that when Evan walked into the HR manager's office, I think she actually lapsed. When she said the issue about we don't want your kind hair,
that's right, yes.
Thing,
yes.
Right, she has already contradicted herself in relation to the labor code, where in terms of, grounds for dismissal, or what you want to call unfair dismissal.
That's right,
because
yes.
She has already alluded to some form of discrimination. She did not say, we will short staff, or we can't afford to pay whatever.
She also dismissed the fact that when Evan said, but I know y'all are hiring and so on, she kind of just dismissed that immediately, brushing it aside,
Because she did not even say, okay, you were suspended for maybe because we don't need so many staff members or something. But the fact that she used certain language,
yes.
And this is why I think Evan has a case. When he decides to go to the Labor Department, I think that is the issue. Again, proving that it was not an issue of redundancy. It was not an issue of they can't afford to have another staff member.
Or it was not an issue where he had done something wrong.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It was an issue from her language. It sounded very discriminatory in terms of saying like we don't need people like that, or we don't, those sort of things. So if you really explore grounds for dismissal in the labor code, really and truly, I think he would have a case in relation to go to the Labor Department. When you listen to it's sometimes difficult. People don't like the ups and downs. We've had conversation with the Labor Department. There are so many issues about limited resources, and sometimes employers could really they find very creative ways to hide the truth as to why they
very true,
or they put you on suspension.
That is, boy, Bennett, you have no idea the thing you bring up, and I hope people are listening. That people just bring up very frivolous issues to just get rid of you in a workplace, and it is sad. It is sad that sometimes you believe that you don't have the recourse.
And sometimes if you believe the Labor Department really and truly has not done any justice to you, you could go to your legal way if you believe that the Labor Department has fallen short.
Yes.
We've had conversation. We've had been involved in cases where legal matters with the Labor Department in the mind of the employer. Sorry, the employee fell short, and they went the legal way, and the employer decided to settle out of court because of the way in which the person was dismissed.
Yes.
In terms of the labor code is very clear as to why you cannot dismiss somebody. And one of the major areas is an employee cannot be dismissed based on race, sex, religion, color, ethnic origin, nationality, a number of things, including sexual orientation or disability.
But Bennett, there's something that you just brought up there. Don't you think? You think, and I'm glad that this is being aired now and people are listening to it. The Labor Department, not dealing with the cases, as thoroughly as they should, and then it has to go the legal way. And then you have an employer saying, oh boy, this person went to a lawyer, boy, let me settle that out of court because our dirty laundry might be aired and such and such and such and that brings a very hot kind of topic now, because I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
But I just want to jump in and ask. You said when the Labor Department didn't handle the situation as they should have.
Yeah.
Do you really think that is usually what is the case, or could it be that you have a stubborn employer, and so you have to take a bigger.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I totally agree with Della. Sometimes that's it, because they realize, boy, you know what? I have that person cornered, and that's my position, and they may not want to budge that position.
Exactly.
Until when people hear lawyer, boy, it's a different thing, huh?
Mm-hmm. When you're a lawyer, I mean, you mean sometimes the fees that the employee went to you have to, pay the lawyer. Those fees might come out from the employer because they have found you wanting. You understand?
Yeah, and from in terms of my experience, I mean, talking from working with United and Strong in the past, UNS has made legal representation available without any fees for persons when it comes to that.
Okay.
Also, the government department, legal aid, the government actually has a legal aid.
Right? Okay.
That actually can persons who cannot afford a lawyer, pay a lawyer, could provide. Again, they've always spoken about the limited resources, because they do provide a lot of service, but they're very stretched. However, we really want persons to know as much as possible that, and I want to agree with Della, be aware, get to know the labor code, get to know the policies of your workplace, because ignorance, honestly, can really put you in a very difficult position.
That's very true.
So I'm going to allow other persons to share that to make a contribution.
Okay.
One thing I want to add to that is to ensure that you have proof, for want of a better way of putting it. Like you just pointed out, Roger, a lot of things can be done. You can be sent home on vacation and then not have a job when you come back.
When you come back, yes.
You can be you can be told that your position has now been made redundant, and a lot of things happen. So you need to ensure that you know exactly what is happening in your workplace, and you have whatever proof that you need, so that when you go to the labor department, you can present your case properly. And if it gets, in some cases, to a lawyer, to a tribunal, you have all your ducks in a row, and you can present your case properly and whether it's compensated for your loss of work or be reinstated in your position.
Okay.
But we need to pay attention to those things. The onus is on us as employees.
That's right. Now,
the employer is going to look out for himself and
I
his
was just
business.
about to say that, because
the onus is on you as an employee to have your information and know what is happening within your workplace, and know what is happening in the labor code, and know what your protection is.
That's right. And let me just flip the script on that one there, because sometimes we're just hearing and we're saying the employee, but the employer, and there are very good employers out there.
Yes, there are.
And the labor code is not just to protect the employee; it is to protect the employer. Everybody, the employer too. Let me just, give a little scenario. You're at work. You're not performing. You are not performing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing what you were employed to do. Okay, you are failing. Okay, but you feel, I'm doing everything right. And in the eyes of your employer, you're not meeting the quota that is set, and everybody else is. And you're not meeting the quota is that. You become a liability to that employer.
Yes, you
and
you have.
The law, it has to be really, I don't want to say bad. Let's say it has to be really bad for an employer to just dismiss you the first time you mess up. It has to be really bad. That employer really didn't want to employ you in the first place, but they felt sorry for they give you a job. Maybe, I'm just saying. But the employer is going to keep a record of your failings. Okay? And when it comes now to the point where the employer cannot keep you on anymore, because you are now too much of a liability, and the employer lets you go, you are not going to have a leg to stand on when you go to the labor department. You have to understand that too. Well, in the case of Evan, I believe he has more than just one leg to stand on. He has about 3, 4, 5, 7, 12. How many you want to put?
And like Bennett said, when the HR manager said to him, people like you.
Yes.
you know, and that
What-
is
what-
something
what
you
did she
also
mean?
need to pay attention to.
Not only
how
that,
you're
what
spoken
did
to.
she mean? What did she mean by
like you.
people like you? Why? It's because my hair's short. Am I wearing dreads? My eyebrows are too thick. What is it? You know, you have to be specific when you tell somebody people like you. And if it is that you are discriminating against the person because of their race, class, creed, sexual preference, or anything, you, the employer, don't even try to find a leg to stand on.
Yeah. And
Don't even try.
And we've noticed that in recent times in our society, a lot of employers have been taken to court.
Yes.
And the employees have won their cases.
Well, they have won the cases, or the
their
employer has
settlement,
settled out of
you know,
court.
out of court. But you know, those things are important, and it signifies a change in times
Yes.
where, you know, employees are no longer afraid to stand for their rights.
Yes.
And more persons need to empower themselves to be able to stand for their rights, as we see Evan doing in our radio drama.
I most certainly agree. Let's just move a little bit forward. We'll be just going over time for a little bit. 3 minutes after the hour of 9 in St. Lucia and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Of course, want to say hello and good evening to, who's that? Hathor, Nubian Princess. Good evening to you, my dear. And of course, want to say good evening also to a Miss Natalia
Good evening,
Adams.
Roger.
Yes. Good evening to you. Yes. I didn't know it was you, by the way. Of course, want to say good evening to Miss Natalia Adams. I want to say good evening to Alroy. Already messaging me, giving me all kind of talk on my WhatsApp there. But yes, want to say good evening to you. Of course, want to say good evening to the folks listening in Ravin, Claire this evening. Chrissy and her sister. Good evening to you. And of course, we're waiting for our favorite caller, Kesa. It's Case here, and we haven't heard from her yet. But good evening to you. One final thing before we leave. Kina and Carla, and Kina telling Carla, you need to stand up for your rights. And of course, you know, I don't know who's calling. It seems that it's her. Let's see. Hello, good evening, good night. You are on the air. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good.
I'm good. But of course, we were not talking about Evan, and we are talking about Kina and Carla now, and of course, people standing up for their rights in terms of the Labor Department and the employees and so on. But Kina and Carla, standing up for your rights. Just because somebody calling you names, you're supposed to allow that person to pick on you just because you think you're in the minority. You have rights. What do you say about that?
First of all, I would like to speak about
your favorite person.
Lincoln. Yes.
Okay.
Lincoln first.
All right, Lincoln first.
Lincoln first.
All right.
Let me tell you. Tonight there, Lincoln showed a side, a different side to him. When he found himself in a little bit of hot water, he was like, Cynthia, I love you, Cynthia, no, and babes. You just finish slap the person. You say when you see she has people to defend her now, you want to call her babes.
That is my point, darling. That is my point. Only time you wasn't calling her babe. Now you calling her babe?
You just finished slapping me and then you want to come and tell me you love me and babes. No, man, go with him. Lincoln nutty as a fruitcake.
He's not.
He's nutty like a fruitcake. Yes, he's delusional. He deranged. He all kind of things.
Okay.
He in his right mind. Nothing not wrong with Lincoln.
Okay.
He in his right mind. Nothing not happened to him.
But darling, you know I am going to play devil's advocate and try and hold out hope. Do you think Lincoln at any point in his life will change?
Nothing happened to Lincoln.
Nothing to happen.
Lincoln normal. He know exactly what he's doing. Nothing to happen to him.
Now you know I'm going to agree with you there. I'm going to agree with you that he know exactly what he's doing there.
He know exactly.
He know what he's doing because he told the police guys, "Me that day, you know, I cannot be touched. You'll know that." All kind of nonsense he was saying.
So, you know, he probably think like, you know, he is the law. He was the law at one time. So you know he think he bigger than.
I believe. Don't you think he thinks that he is still the law? Don't you think he thinks that he is still the law?
He probably because if you're going, oh, me that I'm threatening Owen. Now, you know, I remember a couple of episodes back.
Yes.
When Owen was trying to give, what's her name?
Cynthia?
Cynthia a ride. Cynthia was walking and Cynthia was like, no, people see, but Owen had an eye and probably, wasn't there Lincoln knew something.
Or somebody gonna tell Lincoln. Oh, you suspect.
About Kina, like Kina was telling her about why she didn't pick Owen before, things like that.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
I don't know. I remember.
Very true. Yes. But yes, going. You were saying?
So probably Lincoln know. Lincoln probably know Owen had iron Cynthia. That's why he gets on like that. So
Okay.
Lincoln aware of everything he's doing. Lincoln know exactly what he's doing.
Okay. All right. Now let's move forward to Kina. I really want to touch on that tonight. Kina and Carla, and Kina is telling Carla she should stand up for herself. It doesn't matter whether she is a lesbian or she's infirm or whatever. Your choice is your choice. You should stand up for yourself and stop letting people pappy show you. What say you to that?
Well, I agree with Kina. I agree with Kina, but there is so much that you can do alone. One man is not an island. You cannot do it by yourself all the time.
I agree, and I think sometimes
I
believe sometimes that you have to surround yourself. You surround yourself with people that doesn't just look at your. Yeah, I believe you should surround yourself with people that kind of can support you. Yeah.
You need the help. You need the strength. You need something to keep you going. You cannot do it by yourself all the time.
Okay, I need to ask that question. Do you believe that there is enough being by the powers that be, to protect people's rights? Do you believe that there is enough being done by the powers that be, the lawmakers, And do you think that there are enough institutions,
Yes.
Do you think so?
That's what I was saying. There are
Okay, you are breaking up, my dear. Oh. Okay, but if she does come back on, we'll put her back on. Let me see. Are you there, ma'am? Hello?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, all right. You were saying?
Yes, there are professionals within those institutions to help them, but sometimes we don't know about them. Well, not we, I not it. They don't know about them. So we don't know about them. So the more they advertise, the advertise and stuff. There are ways to disseminate information. So you can have a little seminar, a little something, to remind people that there are institutions for if they really need these helps and stuff.
Okay
like that.
then. Okay.
So,
all right.
Yes. Now Evans, you see Evans, nothing about Evans.
What you say? Let's say about Evan.
Manager.
You're breaking up. Hold on, you're breaking up again. Say that
I have
again.
nothing to say to Evans tonight.
Okay.
You see that human resource manager?
Yes.
I have nothing to say for Evans tonight. You see the human resource manager? She was very, very unprofessional.
Okay.
Very unprofessional. Because don't tell me the man coming to ask you a question, you're laughing in the man's face. You're laughing in his face and you're giving him all kind of answers like you was a disciple. Beating around the bush with the person. Come straight to the point.
That's right.
Why you fire him? If he's fire, you fire. If he's
suspend.
If he's suspend, you suspend them.
Fire. She said suspend him, but she's saying two different things. You're supposed to what if he's fire or suspend him? So why you beating around?
Yes.
Come straight with him and
Okay.
Somebody else out of the office telling me why I not there because was this way, and so they thought I was that way. Come straight to the.
You kind of break it up, but that's that was I kind of agree with you.
I was saying the human resource manager should come straight to the point. Don't tell me I was fired. You tell me I was just fired, and then tell me what's going on.
I agree.
Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. I have somebody else out of the. You know, when things, when human resource managers, things are supposed to be confidential, you know? It's a workplace. Somebody else out of the office telling me why I not at the workplace again. And then she's talking about you don't see you and making phrases like that.
Okay.
She was not professional, and she laughed. You know, I could imagine imagine her unprofessionalism.
Yes, ma'am. Okay then. Well, thanks for your contribution, my dear.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Okay then. And of course, I have to say it again. Naidi Yonkoy. Evans, you have more than one leg to stand on. And those Evans out there that go through that kind of thing, you have more than one leg to stand down. I do believe in the case of Carla and Kina that people need to kind of form support groups or get people, surround themselves with people that not sympathize with them, but people that understand their rights.
No, that's why we have advocates.
Yes.
Advocates for human rights, advocates for the environment, advocates for climate change, advocates for domestic violence, because you understand that one person cannot do it by themselves.
Yes.
And we need to form teams, and we need to form groups, and we need to come together as one voice, stand in unity, and fight for what we know is right.
Yes. Okay, let me just quote something, and that's coming from the United Nations Universal Rights thing. Your human rights are protected by law. We can all ask for the law to help us when we are not treated fairly. You have the right, listen to it properly. You have the right to privacy. Nobody, absolutely no one should try to harm your good name. Nobody has the right to come into your home, to open your letters, to bother you or your family. Okay? Nobody has the right to do that. Absolutely no one. There are so many on this list here. I can go. You have the right, okay, to belong to pretty much anything, any group, religious denomination, race, creed, class, sex. You have that. You have the right to choose that for yourself. You also have the right to go to a policeman if you feel threatened by anybody that is infringing on your personal safety. I just letting you all know that out there. Okay? Man, woman, child, I don't care where you come from. You have that right. Nobody can prevent you from that. The minute you see they start preventing you, they're infringing on your rights. Okay? Freedom of thought. We all have the right to believe in what we want to believe, to have a religion, or to change it if we want. You have the right. I want to thank Della this evening, but still going to ask you your final words.
You have rights.
You have rights.
Stand for them.
That's right. That's right. And here this is, you know that if you see something happening and you do nothing about it,
you're part of the problem.
You're part of the problem. So if you see something happening, okay, you have the right to stand up and do something about it. Okay? I ain't tell you go inside the person's home and start fighting these people, But you have a right. Okay? You have a right to see something, it is not right, you need to speak up about it. If it's not right, speak up about it. Whether it is in your workplace, whether it is at your home, whether it is on the street, whether it's in your church, you have a right to speak up about it. Some people are afraid to speak because they're afraid that person will go and tell that person who come and arrest them or do something and so on and so on and so on. You have the right to speak up. Yes, speak up. Even you have a right to express yourself. Why people like to kind of hold people back? Anyway, Della, it was a pleasure being here once again tonight.
As always.
Hopefully, God's willing, we will be able to do it next Monday. Of course, we're saying God willing. That's our hands, not ours. Sometimes, okay? Okay, again, want to say thank you for joining us tonight, all those of you on Facebook. Hopefully we shall meet again next Monday for another program, I Write.
I Write, St. Lucia's latest radio drama.
This man is making me crazy. I cannot deal with this.
With BFF, I Write.
I just can't with all of these responsibilities.
Every Monday.
I hear the two. And you perpetuating them kind of